हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मादुत्थिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः.
So we should all the time try to relate why we are reading Gita. What is the relevance today? If there is no relevance today, then why should we read? There is relevance. What is that relevance? That it is speaking about our eternal existence. There are two things. Our eternal existence or the eternal existence of someone at least. If both things are not there, then it becomes a race between birth and death. For that, why you need to read anything of that much depth, which is so deep and so relevant that it is continuing from time immemorial, and it will keep staying there. So that is the relevance, that it is. Today also the question is same about existence. So we find ourselves there, and that is what beginning statement of the Krishna, because this chapter 2 is important in this that it is whole Gita. Chapter 2, all else is just he is trying to make understand in different words, in different ways. In fact, there are only two slokas, opening statement, that only he is trying to make understand all through chapter 2. First beginning he says two things, as what I am saying, existence of somebody who is already there, and existence, our existence also eternal, but we are not knowing. So he says, you have taken wrong line of pondering. Asocyan anvasochastam prigyavadansya bhasase gatansu cha nanusochanti pandita. So in this one statement, he is describing who is Pandit, who is intelligent. Pandit means intelligence, wise person, and who is not. So he says the wise one is the one who is not thinking about wrong line of thought. Asocyan anvasochastam. Not going after a long line of thinking and going or not thinking wrong things. Like Pandita is one who is not thinking what is about to go and what is already gone. So he, in a way, he is trying to bring the other one, the Arjun, to the same plane. And he is not describing any big things about himself now, because he is not ready to listen even for the primary. What should I do telling him heavy stuff? So he is saying just. So next statement he gives is that Natve vaham jatum nasam ne me ne tvam ne me janadhipa. Na chaiv na bhavishyama sarve vaymatah param. That there was no time when I was not there and these kings were not there or you were not there, and neither ever going to be the time when all three of us will not be there. Means I, you and all these beings here, kings. Because he is referring to the kings because they are in a setting. Only their kings, they are fighting against the kings. Otherwise he could have very well said all these are there. So he says all of us are always there. These are the two sentences he is making. Two clear statements. And whole through second chapter he is just explaining that. That is how it is. Nothing else is he is saying. Why different is from the beginning he begins that the yatha dehe kaumare yogvinam jara dehantar prapti dhiryam tastram hepi. Like in the body this happens that you become young, then you become much older, then you become old, and then the body is gone. So like Dhir who was stationed in this knowledge that we are always there, they don't get deluded by this. That is going like a cloth. So from there onwards, everywhere he is just describing that only. If you see minutely, he is saying nothing at all except these two sentences. And he is just describing that in different ways until he is ready for that. So here he has reached to that extent where he is saying, what is repeated? One first sentence. No, the one you read.
Hato va prapsyasi swargam.
So he is saying, Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitto va bhokse mahi. If you get killed, then you will go to the heavens, because that is your current knowledge. It is not Krishna's knowledge, it's Arjun's knowledge. He says, you have this much knowledge. No, you are saying, स्वर्ग नहीं चाहिए मुझे धरती भी नहीं चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए. This is my knowledge. So he says, even by that, if you fight, then you will if you win, then you will enjoy these fruits. Or if you get killed, then you will reach to the Swargam. No, repeat it again.
Next one.
No, this one. Next line.
Tasmaduthishta kaunteya.
Yuddhaya krita nishchaya. Then he says, now because of that you should get up and you become ready for get that sankalpa that you will do your duty. Yuddhaya krita nishchaya doesn't mean he is not saying that you fight. He said what you should do, because they are into the warring situation, so he is not mincing words. But he very clearly said, my role is not to tell you that you should fight or not. My role is to show you the mirror, that this is your condition. And if you understand and more, I will keep giving you rope, that this is how it is. But whatever you understand, here my role is whatever you want to choose. So if here he says, Yuddhaya krita nishchaya, you get determined to fight. But in essence, he is not saying that no, it is my order you fight. He is just showing that if you want to choose, get determined what is your duty. Yes.
Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva nevam papam avapsyasi.
Now we have increased the knowledge 1 degree. Earlier he is saying till this that you will get to this thing, heavens. Now he is saying no. Sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labhu jaya jaya. You should not even think whether you win or lose, whether you will get pleasure here or you will get pain. Sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labhu jaya jaya. Whether you get some loss or you get benefits. So if you become like that and you yujja, hence you unify yourself with your goal, then you will not get to the sins. You will not become a sinner. Yes.
Esha te bhita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi.
Now he is increased a little bit more degree. So he is saying that so far I have been telling you Sankhya Yoga, so that to make your intelligence according to the Sankhya Yoga, which is known as Jnana Yoga also. And then he is saying, now I will tell you about how to unite your intelligence with karma. So what is Sankhya? You see, the Sanskrit words are like that. Sankhya, 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 Sankhya. All are different. Sankhya means knowledge. Sankhya means number. Sankhya means war, fighting. Katham ham dron sankhya or bhismaham sankhya, like that he says. That how will I fight? There it is used in the word sankhya, means fighting. Sankhya is different. And then here it is knowledge. So he is saying, now I am telling about Sankhya. There is 2 Sankhya yogas are there. See this here in our tradition, because it is a very long tradition. So there have been very many imposters also. So there is one Sankhya Yoga which was spoken by Kapil, Bhagwan Kapil, to his mother Devahuti. That is Sankhya Yoga. But another Sankhya Yoga is there among another traditions, non-Vedic traditions, is also there. There, what is the difference? This Sankhya Yoga has divinity in it, and that does not have. That speaks only about material world. Same name, same person's name is also. There is also Kapil, here is also Kapil. So people get confused, and because maybe the motive itself was to confuse people. So this has always been there. In every yug we say, no, even in Dwapar there was Kalaneni who was sitting as a seer. So this has never been dearth of imposters. They are always there. So here he is telling the Sankhya Yoga that I have told you. Now I am telling you how to unite your intelligence with the Karma Yoga. Yeah, repeat this.
एषा ते भिहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि.
So he says, if you unite your intelligence with your karma, then you will overcome the bound that comes with the karma bandha. That you will overcome. If you take the assistance of the intelligence, then you can overcome the karma bandha. Means the fruit which comes out of karma, you can overcome that fruit. Yes.
नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायतो महतो भयात्.
So he is saying, what is the beginning in this? What is the benefit, advantage of this karma, uniting your intelligence with karma? Neha abhikram nasosti. Here there is no violence of the kram, the order. Which is order it is being spoken? The same order which we speak in Sahaj Smriti Yoga, that Sanatan, then non-violence, then truth, then dharma, then love. So he says even a little bit of this, if you take, go with this Buddhi Yoga, which is trying to unite your Buddhi with the karma, means you do your karma according to the pure intelligence, then this order is not lost. So even a little bit of following this relieves you from the greater fear. Trayate means the one that protects. Mahato bhayat means a very big fear. Even if you do this, apply this in your life, even a little, then also it removes a very big fear from your life. Trayato mahato bhayat. Because this order is not disturbed here in this. It stays as it is.
But see, how to understand this order? Because each of that I feel is like something beyond my. It's you say the lowest one is love. That itself is a big stage. So each of that,
understanding is not there. It is a matter of realization. That understood only this way, this much can be understood, that total non-violence is not possible in our life. You see, any action is happening, even your food getting digested, your chewing, some amount of violence is happening. So where this non-violence is possible? Only if you transcend your body some point of time. Then only that part you can say, and that too if it is transcended in right way, it should be transcended. Then you know what the non-violence is. Till then you don't know real non-violence. You know only relative violence. So that is why even in Dharma it is told that Vaidiki hinsa na bhavati. When you are doing something for your duty, right now in this Gita, when he is saying exactly that's what he is saying. Even when you are fighting, so many people will get killed. How much violence will happen? But since it is happening for your dharma, means what you have understood, what is your duty, swadharma, you have come to realize you have no other way than doing what you should do. In that order, whatever happens, that is to be taken. Because there is no, if you have reached to that stage, then well and good. Who is saying? If you have transcended your body, then you will not be sitting in the war. Your karma has brought you there. So can you run away from your no, I wanted to be in the highest realms. What you have done accordingly, you are here. So this order stays. So we have to accept our position. We can aspire for the highest, but we cannot start behaving as highest if we are not highest. So if we are not in a non-violent state of being, then how can we behave? We can, yes, to great extent we can emulate that. We try to do as much possible, as much non-violent possible is there. That's what we are doing. But no, and that comes out. That is dharma. So they say param dharam jag vidit ahimsa. Ultimate dharma is ahimsa. So they have put ahimsa above dharma already. And dharma na dusar satya samana. So they have put satya above dharma. So that order is already there. All the saints and seers who reach to that height, they realize it. So that is how it can be understood. That this order is already there. But how can we attain to that? So he said begin minimum with the love. Because if you do something out of love, that is the maximum you can do. Once you evolve to you become dharma, then we say Ramo Vigrahvan Dharma. He had reached to that height, attained to where his existence is synonymous with dharma. So that is why whosoever looks at Ram, he says Ram Prem, he is love incarnate. Because that has become below. Now love is finding shelter in Ram. He has become bigger than love. Because he is now Vigrahvan Dharma. Ramo Satya Parakrama. He has gone 1 degree above. Now he is truth incarnate. Even Dharma is taking its definition from Rama. But nothing is said beyond that. Non-violence is not said there also. These 3 things have been told about Ram, but nobody has told non-violence. So there is a degree of attainment. It goes to the eternity. How much is possible in a human frame in certain time and climb? That this is human frame in this time and space, this much was attained, is attained. It is always open. So that is how it should be seen. That order is already there. Wherever we are, from there honestly we should work to evolve. That from here how much we can go up. That's how it is.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दना बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्.
This I often keep quoting. Vyavasayatmika buddhi reke bahubuddhi vyavasaya. That vyavasaya means what? There is vyaya and there is avyaya. Avyaya means it cannot be expensed with. Never can, as much you want to expense, but it remains avyaya, means it cannot be expensed. Eternity cannot be expensed. It is avyaya. But you say vyavasayatmika. If now as a human being you are a soul, so you want to expand as much as. Atmika means Atma want to expand as. We say so that buddhi is one. Only through one clear determination you can go through that. Vyavasayatmika buddhi reke bahubuddhi vyavasayina. So if other like bahut sakha, so many branches are there in your buddhi, that means that is a kind of work of a businessman who is thinking how to earn this way, how to earn that way. But it is not the, so he is giving example, not demeaning, but telling the order that if you are there, then you accept that I am here, I am not there. But if you want to see that I know I am that vyavasayatmika buddhi, but your actions speaks otherwise, that is what he is saying in the beginning, that asocyan vasocyastum pragyavadansya bhasase. You are speaking like intelligent but foolish work you are doing. So there is a dichotomy. Here he is telling vyavasayatmika buddhi reke, because he has spoken how to unite karma with the buddhi. There is a determination should be there. Clear. Repeat it again. Vyavasayatmika buddhi reke.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्.
So he is saying same thing very clearly कि the one who is determined, his intelligence is sharp, clear that this is what, then only it enters to the Atma. Clear, no frills are there. Once it is going exactly. Otherwise it is disbelieving on oneself. Going clearly that whom are you believing or whom are you disbelieving? Whom are you trusting and whom are you not trusting? If your intelligence saying no, this is how it is, then you come back, no, maybe it was some kind of confusion, some kind of illusion. Then how it is going to work? So he says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi reke. With one determination, if you go, then only you reach towards the soul, Atmika buddhi. Otherwise, like businessmen have so many frills in their intelligence and mind, where somehow they have to make their work done, so they do so many things. So they say that is not the way.
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चितः वेदवादरथाः पार्थ नान्यादस्तीति वादिनः.
So this introduction he has given for this sloka, because he wants to demolish his ego. First off, because he is counting himself very intelligent being, Arjun. He is giving so much knowledge to Krishna himself that my kula will go, my this will happen, I will go to this hell. Knowledge he is giving. So he first needs to bring him to his real position. So he is saying how your intelligence is. Yamima puspita vacham. So that time this Vedic karma kand was prevalent. So what are the Vedic karma kand is doing? That if you do this yajna according to these principles through this rishi, then you will get that kind of fruit. If you do one kind of yajna, you will get this fruit. If you do another sadhana, you will get this fruit. So he says this kind of flowery thing is there. So he is saying this is bahubuddhi vyavasayinam. It is business only. If you are doing this, you say I want this in return. So he is in a way slowly that क्या बोलते हैं उसको छाट रहा है, जैसे पेड़ से ना छटाई करते हैं, cutting slowly pruning it. He is pruning the Vedic knowledge. That is why it is called the Vedanta Gita. It is not demolition of the Veda. He is pruning that knowledge, that you don't stick to the Karma Kand, which unfortunately now still is there. It is not that so many thousands years are gone, but still people are doing that out of confusion, because they have not found the one whom we call Guru. That this is what yajna is now. This is what dan should go. This is where the thing should happen. That is not available to many. So they are still going on with that old knowledge, which Krishna pruned at that time. He says, according to the Pushpitam Vacham. So many flowery languages there, and they are telling, if you do this, you will get this. Then one should not become like a businessman into that. Yes, go ahead.
कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति.
So he says, what is happening? They are telling in those who are involved in Vedic Karma Kand. Vedic Jnana Kand is good, but Vedic Karma Kand, those who are involved, they say that telling, no, if you give this kind of donation to this person in this condition, then you will go to that Swarga, and then you will get this kind of return there when you are in the higher world. So he say they are involving them again in what they are doing here in the world. That pleasures you are doing, people are running for pleasure here, and they are offering pleasure like there. इसलिए वो जन्नत में हूर मिलेगी. Same thing. That this is what Apsaras will be there and you will enjoy yourself. Same pleasure which they are not free from here, you are offering them here also. So he says, what are you doing? This is not, don't you think this is a business? So he says, they are misguiding people by telling this. That you keep involved or restricted yourself to this only as if there is nothing beyond this. Yes.
भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तयापहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः
समाधौ न विधीयते. So he is saying that because of this, when this kind of knowledge is doled out to them, they are already, because of being in worldly mode, they are already attracted to pleasures. And when you say no, it is nothing wrong in it, after life also you are going to get the more of the same in a better position. So they get much more confused and aparhat chetsam. Their chitta means consciousness is just goes with that. This sounds very good, because they already have taste of that here. They say, this sounds very, very good. So they get carried away by that. Then say that kind of intelligence, samadhau na vidhiyate, it cannot experience the sukh of the samadhi, because it is bahushakha. So many things you are telling, you can enjoy this, you can enjoy this. And how can that become vyavasayatmika buddhi reke? No, I just have to go to the soul. I am a soul, nothing I have got to do with all these things. I have had enough of this. And it is not leading anywhere. So that is not coming, because the ones who are custodian of that knowledge, they themselves are offering something else. As he was saying in the beginning, before satsang began, that people come for the extra things, not for the real things. So that was happening that time also. So he is pruning that knowledge, that you are considering all this true. So slowly come to your senses that this is not a big knowledge which you think by knowing this way then all you have become such a knowledgeable person. This is how it is. So, vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhu na vidhiyate. Without that, it cannot go to that samadhi. It cannot experience the samadhi if it is caught into such pleasures. Yes.
त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्.
निस्त्रैगुण्य विषयः वेदा. Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistrigunya Bhavarjuna. So he says all the knowledge. Here Vedas doesn't mean only Ved, 4 Veds. Ved means knowledge. Veds, if it is translated in English, it means knowledge. So he says Traigunya Vishya Veda. All the subjects, Vishaya means subjects, they all are limited to the knowledge of the senses is limited to Trigunatmak. 3. Sat Rajtam. All this is limited knowledge, whatever you acquire through your senses. There are Karmendriyas 5 and 5 Gyanendriyas in your body. So all what you are getting the knowledge, Vedas through that senses, it is limited to Traigunya, Sat Rajtam. So he says Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. You go beyond that. Oh Arjun, you don't get limited by the knowledge which is perceived through senses. Your knowledge should be atindriya, beyond senses. You should get ready to acquire that knowledge, because soul is beyond that. It is not it is cocooned by the senses, but it is beyond. It is more powerful. It is not that by the senses your soul should be driven or cocooned. You should be going in the light of your soul. So he is saying, so one meaning is that Traigunya Vishya Veda. He is saying that also, that currently at that point of time, all these people which are following Karma Kand, they are following through for these things only. That whatever pleasures are there which are made out of Satrastam, that only they are offering. Okay, you will become a good king in next birth, you will be Pandit in next birth. Sattva, Rajas, you are king, or if you come to the Tam, you will be a very big businessman, something enjoying the pleasures of life. That is what, so he is saying all the subjects of Vedas in that sense are limited to these 3. Or if you take the meaning of the Veda as knowledge, then also he is saying through senses whatever knowledge you can get, that is not capable of carrying you beyond the knowledge of these Trigunatma. So he says, you repeat it. Second line.
निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्.
So here he is saying nirdvando nitya sattvastho niryogchem atmavan. You should not have, if you have to go beyond senses, then you should not have duality. Nirdvando, it should not be duality, you should be just shat. Yavshayatmika buddhireke, in one direction. Nirdvando nitya sattvastho. You should be nitya means all the time. Sattva means essence. Sthito means stationed, established in your essence. Niryogchem. What is yoga and what is niryog? Niryog means is beyond disunion, which your union is with these senses, you go beyond this. Atmavan. Then only you can become Atmavan. That is the word which is referred in our this weekly column there. Atmavan. Niryogchem Atmavan. That you should, this Yogchem, these are two things. Yog means literally union with the one that exists. So that is higher meaning of it. So Niryogchem Atman. Then you do not look for the protection. Chem means looking for that I will get protected by dharma. So that also comes Yog Chem Bahamyaham. He says in one direction, but that is lower condition. He is giving that your approach can be higher. So you become Niryog Chem only Atmavan. Atmavan means the one with the soul. Atmavan. One with the eternal existence. Atma.
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः.
So here he is saying, like an example he is giving. Suppose you stay in a pond and suddenly you get to see the ocean. Then will you still be attracted towards pond? So he says all these senses and pleasures they give, they are like the kind of water you get in a pond. And when you become Niryogchem Atmavan, then it is like coming into the ocean. So already this will be left behind.
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः.
So here he introduced a term Brahman, Vijanata. So he is saying this whatever is the subject of the Vedas or whatever is the subject of the knowledge acquired through senses. Because today's human being, if we say Vedas, they don't know what we are referring to. So it is better for them to take second meaning which I am saying. That whatever knowledge is acquired through senses, that is called Veda. So he says the extent of Vedic knowledge or knowledge is limited to the senses. But this knowledge goes beyond. That the one who have attained to the soul knowledge, that is Brahmanasya Vijanata. The one who has gone beyond this Veda, means he has reached to that knowledge, that is we call Paramagyan. Then he sees that this whatever knowledge he had here, that was like a pond. Now he is in the ocean. So what he have got to do? Sarvot Sampludotake means everywhere, water everywhere. And that is not that water everywhere, nor a drop to drink. This is the water everywhere, every drop to drink. That is kind of the water. So everywhere that he is saying is ocean. मीठे पानी का सागर और खारे पानी का वो छोटा सा तालाब. From there you have come here. That is Brahman. That is the meaning which is given to the Brahman word. And it is not that somebody is born in some caste or something. No. Brahman is that who has reached to that knowledge, who has crossed this all Vedic, all knowledge and reached to that Brahmana Siddhijayata. Before that he is not using that term. Right up time when he has to describe something, then he is saying this is Brahman. Still people say caste and all those things. What can be told about that? He is telling everything. Before that, if you have not crossed that boundary of reaching beyond Vedic knowledge, you are not a Brahmin. Brahmana Siddhijayata. So he says, such a person who has reached there, he is called Brahmin, and then he knows the reality.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर् मा ते संगोस्त्वकर्मणि.
So now this all of you know. This is most quoted sloka of Gita. Karmanyevadhikaraste. You will find everybody saying this line. But where is he saying this? When you have reached to become a Brahman in that sense. Atmavan. Before that you don't know what your karma is, what is you keep repeating Karmanyevadhikaraste and keep doing whatever you were doing. So this is how the value of knowledge goes down. Without knowing what you are saying, you think, I know what it is. But there is, all degrees are there, that is how you go one by one. You reach there, then you, oh, this is how it is, this is how it is. Then you know it. So it says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha. When you have become that one, Atmavan, then only you know that Karmanyevadhikaraste. Your limitation is to do the work. Your adhikar means, that is your limitation, that is your boundary, that is your maryada, that you are supposed to do only the work. Karmanyevadhikaraste. They say this is your adhikar, you have to do it. Ma phaleshu kadacha. Never ever think about the fruit. If you think about the fruit, that means you have come back in time. Because you are not going straight. Vyavashayatmika buddhireti. You have come down again. You have started something else. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Ma karm phal hetu bhurma asango swatkarmani. He says, neither you become enjoyer of your fruit. Not only look for it, but you don't even take that fruit of your karma. Just do it. But also then when you become like, then why should I do so? Ma asango swatkarmani. Never ever leave your duty. Because you can't leave. Something or the other you will be doing. Your constitution is like that, that you cannot. You are a system. You are a vyaktitva. You are a vyavastha. And you are avastha. All three things are into you. So as a being, something is happening in you. It is not in your control. You are breathing. Whether you are breathing a good in a good environment or you are breathing in a polluted environment. But you will be breathing so long as you are living. Karma is happening. Body is digesting food. Body is eating. Minimum these things are happening in you. Thoughts are happening. So you cannot stay away from your karma. So he is telling gradually how you are. That if you become Atmavan, then this is what you will realize. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan ma karm phal hetu bhurma ma asango swatkarmani. That you will become like, you will realize that this is how you are. That you are here just to do. No karm phal you are going to enjoy. Neither the fruit of it, nor you are looking for its fruit. Neither you are abandoning your duty. So your place is very well defined. That neither you can run away from your duty, nor you should take the fruit of that, nor you should look for the result. You just do it. Yes.
Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva समत्वं योग उच्यते.
So here he is gradually now giving definitions of one thing, and then later that is how yoga he is defining in very many ways. So yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. This is, read it again.
योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते.
So he is saying now yogastha kuru karmani. So how one becomes yogastha? By reaching to the knowledge of the soul. Before that there is no yogastha. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. When you realize that you are an eternal being, and that cannot be realized on one's own, that he will slowly tell, but he is telling. Yogastha kuru karmani. Become in union and do your karma. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Without getting attached to anything. Second line.
सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते.
So here he is telling that siddhi, whether it is successful or it is not successful in your eye. Something you are doing in your knowledge, whether it is successful or not successful, you should not get perturbed by it. Siddhyo asiddho samo bhutya. In successful or failure in your eyes, you become even. Why you should become even? That he has already defined. That karmanyavadhikaraste mafaleshu kadachan. You are not supposed to enjoy the fruit. So then what you have got to do whether you became successful or you became unsuccessful? So when you have become like that, because you look for the success or failure when you want to enjoy something. When you don't, you are not bothered about the fruit, what you have got to do whether it is successful or not? You have to do your work. He says, siddhyo samo bhutta. You become even there. Whether the failure, it is being seen as failure or it is being seen as success. You should not get perturbed by that. Otherwise, you have not learned the earlier lesson. So, he is saying that when you are moving ahead, please test whether you have learned your lesson or you have not. Have you become karmanyavadhikaraste and or you are still there? Then you will not understand this. What is this siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate? Because he says evenness is called being in yoga. So how else in karma you define when you are not, even it doesn't matter to you. And it doesn't take away your enthusiasm, it doesn't matter to you. It depends how you are saying. Your enthusiasm should not go, whether it was successful or a failure. If your enthusiasm is going, that means you got something, that you wanted success. When it is not going, then you are stationed in that. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. So he said, siddhyo asiddhyo samo bhutva samuttam yoga uchyate. That evenness is called as, defined as, known as yoga. Yes.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जया बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ
Prapanah phalahesavah. He says, the difference between what I have told you, Sankhya and Buddhi Yoga, there is a lot difference between the two. And repeat it. Second line.
बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः.
He says, Buddhau Saranamanvach. Kripanaha Falhetava. You go to the surrender to your intelligence. You should follow your intelligence. Kripanaha Falhetava. Those who are looking for the fruit of their karma, they are miser people. You should not become one. Kripanaha Falhetava. Those who are looking for the fruit, Kripana means miser. Miserly is not a virtue, it is a vice. He says, you should not fall for karma and you should go with the intelligence. So he is trying to that you become balanced on your intelligence, and that is how gradually he is opening up how it is possible. Yeah.
बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Now one another formula he has given, little bit more. That if you follow your intelligence, you go according to, you unite the karma with the intelligence, then what will happen? Yes, you will read it again.
बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह.
So buddhi yoga, if you are uniting it with intelligence, then punya and pap, you will go beyond both. Neither you will incur punya nor you will incur pap. You will go beyond both. And second line.
तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
So here he has what new thing he has introduced, yoga karmashu kausalam. In the previous sloka he is saying what samatvam yoga uchyate. Here he is saying yoga karmashu kausalam. One step further, that if you have become like that in success or failure you are not perturbed, then your intelligence will become very sharp, clear where it should be. What will happen? That will be utilized in your, as I say, the details. Divinity is in details. How? So that you will be focused on the work. So what will happen? That yoga karmashu kausalam, your karma will become very expert, deft-handed you will become in the work, because nothing is bothering you. Only you want to do a thing well, that this is how it should be done. Rather, people are considering it as success or failure, you are not perturbed. Why you should be? That is what he is telling. When you are an eternal being, nobody can do anything to you ever, then will not you do what you should do in the best possible manner? So, gradually he is taking him that first, this is how you come out of your bondages. This is how you come out of your ignorance. So you become first beyond this siddhi asiddhi, and first you know this that you cannot run away anyway from the karma. You cannot sit idle also. It is impossible. So this is your constitution. Second step he is saying that if you understood this properly, then you will not get carried away by success and failure. When your intelligence has become like this, then you will become deft-handed. So yoga's definition is changing in every sloka. Yes.
कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः padam gacchantanamayam.
So he is saying that now if you become like this, so then you become manishi. That is describing a condition. Now you are from that also you are away. That you become away from the janma mrityu. Because then you have not doing for anything, any karma, no pap, no punya, nothing. You are just doing what you are supposed to do. So then there is no karma. So then you are born because of your background. You have done some karma, that is why you are born here. Some good karma or some not so good karma. Accordingly, we are finding our position here. All good karma means we will always be in satsang. Some good karma is lacking means sometimes we will not be. So accordingly, this is what we have got now is coming from our backside karma, what we have done. Here he says, if you reach to this yoga, then you are free. No more karma than for you. All you have gone beyond all this.
Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantanamayam.
He says, what is the position such a person attains to? Anamayam. That means the one where from you do not come back. You have no blemish. That kind of position is there. for a soul, there are different positions. That you attain to this, attain to this. He says when you have become like this, then you go to the position. That's not the posts are there. That here now you are chief minister, now you are prime minister, like that. There also, if you have reached to that, now this much purity, effulgence of the soul has come. So you reach to the anamaya. Yes.
यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च.
Now one more degree here is introduced. Very slowly he is taking. Now he is told, now you have reached to the anamayam, where you have, through your intelligence has become focused. Now you consider that you are nothing but a soul. Then you eternal being. That means he is again introducing one thing. Tadagantasi nirvedam. Now srotavyascha srutasya cha. Then you have united yourself like this. Then where srotavyas means it has so many meanings. It means source, from where it is coming. Srotavyas means the one who is listening. So it means what is being heard and who is hearing it. So this is called Shruti, means Veda, means that Shruti which is only heard by soul. He says Srotavyasya Sutravyasya Tatha Gantasi Nirveda. Nirveda. See, this is how the language is. Just opposite. All statements, what is being told here by any realized being, they just say opposite things. In one say, there is water, next sentence will be there is no water. So they keep doing, first thing they establish, then they do zero, everything. But we get that sense according to our realization. So he is saying Tatha Gantashi Nirveda. Shruti and Shrot, this is Veda. And he says you go to Nirveda. Means beyond Veda. By listening this, you reach to beyond Veda. By listening to Veda, you reach beyond Veda. Nirveda. So Nirveda means ultimate peace. Very much peace also. Prashanti. It's Nirveda. Means Shanti. And Nirved means beyond Veda. So you reach to the ultimate ignorance. From ignorance to knowledge to ultimate ignorance. Tathagantashi Nirveda. When you become capable of listening to your heart, which is considered the seat of your eternal existence. So then that is how you go there. Yeah.
Shruti vipratipanna yada sthasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhi tada yogamavapsyasi.
Also it says when you are not carried away by any other alternatives, just you listen to that inner voice, then you are not when you are not going away any other alternative, then you reach to the place where you should reach.
Arjuna uvacha sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitatihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim.
Now he is becoming a little alert, Arjuna, because he has described everything about the soul, his place, and he said whether I have reached there or not. So he is asking for these tests. How will I test? Till now he is not speaking anything. When he has described that this is how you reach Tathagantasi Nirvedam. So he is feeling some peace, but he want to test himself whether I have reached there, what I am feeling or something else. So he says how to identify this, how to know. So he questions. Sthit pragyasya
ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava.
Sthit pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistha kesava.
Sthitatihi kim prabhasheta
kimasit
vrajeta kim.
So he is saying, how is Sthiti Pragyasya ka bhasa? What kind of language the one who is stationed at one's real place? Sthiti Prajna means the one who has reached to the Samadhi. How is his bhasha? What kind of language that speaks. Sthiti pragyasya ka bhasa. And kim asit kim brajit. What way he speaks, how he speaks, कैसे बैठता है, how he sits, how he walks.
श्री भगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते.
Now you look at the contrast. He is trying to figure out that by outer things, material things, how he speaks, what is his language, how he sits, how he walks, and what is the answer he is getting. That at the time when all what you have in your mind, that this kamnas means this desire and that desire, when mind has foregone all the desires,
प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान्.
Stop here and then. Prajahati yada kaman parth sarva manogatan. All the desires which are there in the mind, the moment they all are gone. Next line.
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते.
When one is happy in Atma itself, Atmanyeva Atmana Santushta. Only in Atma he is settled. He is not coming out of one's Atma. Sthiti Prajna. He said that is Sthiti Prajna. Not by what Asit or what Brajit, how walks, how talks. These are bodily functions. It is inside you. Soul is not carried by your outside actions, what you are doing. What is happening inside you, when your all the desires which are there in the mind, they are washed away, all the impressions are gone, then you are happy within yourself. Nothing, never you are coming out of that happiness and peace. That is why it is called.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतारागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
So he is saying, he is just beginning. So all these now stanzas will come about Sthiti Prajna, different tests. So not outside. Here we stop here today because this is a new thing he is telling, a little bit deeper. Because when he is asking, Sthiti Pragyasya ka bhasha? What kind of language is, how he speaks, how he sits, how he walks? That means he has not understood much. He is asking only outside things, but he is saying, no, nothing to do with the outside. You never know. What is happening inside, that is how it is. So the first test is when you have no desire left in your mind. So then you enter into the inner sanctum of your being. There, if you are happy all the time, you are peaceful, that is how it is. So one thing he is telling, and next we will take. So that is called Sthiti Prajna. When you have reached to that Prajna knowledge.